بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
إن الدين عند الله الإسلام.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Brother, I have a question regarding the meher. If a woman says that I forgive the meher to my husband, is it valid? And secondly, if this is not valid, then what if the man dies without paying meher to his wife?
These are two questions that if a wife wants to forgive the meher, can she do it? And what if the meher is not given or if the meher is not forgiven, if the person dies, what happens? Sister, as question number one is concerned, that if a wife wants to forgive the meher, she can, but it should be of a free will. It should not be a pressure. Because see, when a meher is given, it can be given of three types. The best is that the meher is given at the time of nikah, the complete amount, whatever the amount is, 5 tola gold, 10 tola gold, 10 grams gold, whatever it is. Best is to give on the spot. If the person says, no, I cannot give on the spot, the second option is he can give part at the time of nikah and part later on. Maybe a few days later on, few weeks later on, few years later on, no problem. And third option is that the meher has been already stipulated, but because he doesn't have money at that point, he says, it is deferred, I will give it to you later. Even that's allowed. So if the husband gives meher before the nikah, the question doesn't arise. If he gives part and part later on, or if he says that full meher he gives later on, it's allowed. Now after that, if the wife wants to forgive, she can forgive. She says, I don't want the meher, I give it back to you, I don't require it. She has full right, but it should be of free will. It can't be on the day of nikah that the husband forces and says that, see, now I told you I'll give, after you forgive it this and otherwise there will be a problem. And the wife is forced to say, okay, maaf kar diya. This does happen in some places, which is totally un-Islamic, it is haram. If the wife out of the free will wants to forgive, she can forgive because that is her property. Meher is her property, she has full right over it. Even if the husband gives meher before the nikah, and if the wife wants to give it back to the husband, she can gift it. Now it's her property. There is no rule in Islam that a wife cannot gift to the husband anything. She can give double the amount of meher back to the husband if she wants. Why not? If she has own property. So that is her free will, but she cannot be forced into it. So a wife out of free will can forgive the meher, but she should not be forced by the husband or by the in-laws. Perfectly allowed. Now if the husband doesn't give the meher out of any reason, whether the wife hasn't forgiven or whether the husband said he'll give it after a few years, and he expires before giving it. So the rule is whatever his property is, first the meher has to be given to the wife. And then the property is divided. Therefore the Quran says that if there are any debts, any liabilities, first that has to be given from the balanced property. So if a person dies and has taken loan from a friend of 100 lakh rupees, or 100,000 rupees, whatever it is. So first that money has to be returned. Even the meher is sort of a balance that the husband is supposed to give. So this meher amount from the balanced property of that man has to be given to the wife. If there are any loans, any debts which he has to give to his business partners or friends or any other relatives should be given. And then whatever the balanced property is, that has to be divided according to the Sharia. And then the wife also gets the share from the property. If she has children, she gets 1/8. If she has no children, she gets 1/4. So she gets the meher separately. Then the iddah period that is there, even that has to be taken care from the wealth of the husband. And after that, whatever is balanced, so she gets a share of the meher if it hasn't been given. She gets the share of the iddah period for seeing to it whatever her requirements is there for that 4 months and 10 days if the husband has died. And after that, whatever amount is balanced after paying liability of the other people, that is divided, and she gets 1/4 share if there are no children, 1/8 of the balanced property and inheritance if there are children. So